Colby, hi. Oh, wow. You are a big boy. Today I'm carrying on with March jobs. I want to show you all the seedlings that I've got. There might actually be some fails, but I'm pretty sure there's some fails. There's lots of things that need potting on. Some might need thinning out, so I need to do that. Then I also want to show you some things that I have done this week. One of which is fertilising the garlic and planting the boysenberry finally. And then lastly, which is the most exciting job for me, is actually getting the strawberries in the Greenstalk. Yeah, that's a really important job because they are a really big crop for us. Yeah, that's it. Strawberries will be the last thing that we do. But first of all, I just need to get all the seedlings that I want in the greenhouse so that they can start hanging out in there and take them out of the porch here. Yeah, so I'm just going to try and fill this tray up and take them in the wheelbarrow. Oh, this could be a disaster. I'm like one of the clumsiest people in the family. Ooh. Okay, we have arrived. Strawberries. So I think we'll start outside. I've got the celery sitting in the water at the moment, giving them a good drink. They're doing really well. I've got two trays full of celery, so I'm happy with those. I don't need to do anything with those other than keep looking after them. They like water, so it's good to make sure they are well watered. I've got some lettuces that are looking really, really good, and I'm going to leave those out now for a few nights because I'd like to plant them in the front garden in the veg beds, maybe under my new cold frame, which I will show you guys. But they look really happy, much happier than the ones in the Greenstalk actually. These are some kale and rocket that I sowed, and the rocket in particular, no, not the rocket, sorry, the kale definitely need potting on, so that's a job for today. The rocket I probably will just thin and I might pot them on. I'll see how the time's going. And then I wanted to show you the onion sets that I planted in my last video. I'm really happy with these. They look amazing. They're just, yeah, they bring me joy. So I'm really pleased, happy with those. Again, going to leave them out for the next few nights. I'm just hoping that no animals try to eat them. I might try and cover them in some way. Or actually, what I'm thinking I might do is I might carry the whole tray down to the veg beds in the front garden that are under the netting. Maybe leave them there. That might actually be a much better idea. Then we've got leeks that seem very happy. I'm going to start leaving them out as well. I think they need to be quite a bit thicker than this. I shall be referring to one of Hugh Richards' videos on leeks to check before I plant them out. It's definitely too early to plant out the onion seedlings, but again, they seem happy, no major issues, but they need to be outside now to sort of toughen up. They need to be pencil thick, so we're not far off. Some are better than others. I should be able to plant these sets out soon. So one of the first things I need to pot on is the cosmos. The chamomile, you can see here, it's doing really well, but it's significantly smaller. But the cosmos definitely needs to be potted on. So he's going to go in the greenhouse. The next one is celeriac. They've been doing really well. I'm really happy with these guys. This is a new vegetable for us actually. We haven't been eating celeriac for that long, but we love it. And these guys are doing quite well, but I did thin them, so I think there's only like 2 per cell. But I think it's time they got their own pots. So he's going in the greenhouse. Okay, all the tomatoes are going to go in the greenhouse now and just live there. They've already been thinned and potted on. These are the money maker. These were my experiment tomatoes. And as you can see, they are very happy. Let's see if I can just lift the tray out. They're nice size. I might need to start pinching out soon. Something I'm really terrible at is keeping the main stem being the main stem. But to be honest with you, I've had such good luck with tomatoes. Last year, I did not care for them one little bit. I just left them to do their own thing. And we still got a ton of tomatoes. So I'm not overly worried, but obviously I am trying to maximise all my harvests. The basil, I think it doesn't need potting on yet, but I might just thin them out. The 15 cell trays, I mean, we want a ton of basil, so I think 15 plants will get us going. So I might just thin these out. We've got peppers and chilies. The chili bass, grown these before. They just need to be potted on now into their own individual pots. There's 3 in each of those. So that's a greenhouse job. And then these are one of the peppers that I'm growing. This is Amy Sweet pepper. And again, there's multiple in each pot. So I'm going to give them their own pots. It's definitely a little bug or a fly of some description that's been at them, but they've been in the porch, so I don't know, something's had a munch, but that's okay, it will be fine. And these are also peppers. They're a different variety. They're YOLO, I think, peppers YOLO, but I started them slightly later, so I'm just going to wait for them to get a little bit bigger and then I will pop them on. These, which I just love, are the nasturtiums. They're such a pretty leaf, look at that. They're like lace. I love them. So they're going to go and live in the greenhouse for a bit. They haven't all germinated though. I'm pretty sure I put 3 in each cell, in each pot. There's 3 in there. There's 2 in this one. He just came through the other day. Looks a bit yellow. And then this guy, he's all on his own. So I might need to sow a few more of those. So they're just going to sit in the greenhouse. I don't need to do anything else with those at the moment. In the greenhouse, I've got some things that need potting on as well and thinning out. I mean, look at this the rhubarb. It's called charred rhubarb. That's better lighting, isn't it? It's just wild. They just definitely need their own pots. So that needs to be done. That's in the potting on pile and thinning out pile. I've got 2 pots of calendula. Seem really happy actually. Not quite as wild as the chard, but I'm going to give them their own pots. I want loads of calendula. I'm really keen on trying to maybe make some of my own wound balm. We will see. That might be a step too far. Maybe it's a bit like the whole sourdough idea and it never actually happens, but never grown thyme from seed before. It's the funniest little thing. It's kind of, yeah, there's 2 in there. They look like they're hanging on by a thread. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I'm going to give them their own pot basically, so that's another job. Parsley is suddenly looking happy. They look so sad for so long, just didn't really see any growth. They seem quite happy now. I don't know if I'm gonna pot them on today. I might just leave them alone for a minute because they seem to be doing okay. And then over here I've got mint, which again took forever and it seems to have perked up in the greenhouse. Spinach, it's looking really happy. Got 3 individual pots and then the rest in cells. So I've got 12 spinach. These are butterhead lettuce and I potted them on from here. They were in here and they just didn't seem happy really. So the ones that looked like they needed rescuing I planted in here, and then the ones that were a bit smaller I left alone in here. So I might just pot these few remaining ones on because we eat a ton of lettuce. And now this fabric contraption is basically just for shade really, because a lot of the things I had in here were more cold tolerant crops, and particularly the lettuce and the spinach did not like getting beaten by the south sun. So yeah, that's just worked really well. And then anything that needs a ton of sun can just sit on the top shelf. So I'm going to put the peppers, chili peppers and sweet peppers up there. And then the Greenstalk, which is really hard to film because it's so tall, but radish are doing really well. Really pleased with those. They seem very happy. And I think I did do a bit of a boo-boo. Oh, actually look, interesting. Something's eaten this one. So slugs are us. I might have to get some kind of slug protection. I mean, literally, I don't even want to talk about slugs because they just get me cross. But yeah, end of conversation. In this cell here, I had labelled it lamb's lettuce. And then I saw the radish germinating and I thought, well, I've got that wrong. I clearly didn't put lamb's lettuce in here. I put radish in here. So the radish are going along. And then I've just seen down there, and if you can see, if I can zoom in a bit, I'm pretty sure that's lamb's lettuce. So yeah, we've got 2 crops going on in there. But there are some lamb's lettuce in here. I thought this was going to be one of my fails. It has taken forever to germinate. And I have never, ever, ever been able to grow it. But there you go. There is some in there. Finally, the lettuce in the Greenstalk. Some are definitely doing better than others. I wondered if it's just too hot in here for them. They were sown on the exact same date as the lettuce that I've got outside that seemed to be a lot sort of stockier and almost ready to be picked actually. But yeah, these are just not quite as happy. So I'm not really sure why. Still in the greenhouse, like the ones in the cells. The ones at the top seem better. The only thing is I did turn them to the back to keep them in the shade for a long time. And I don't know whether maybe I gave them too much shade. So it's coming up to midday, so I've turned it away from the sun now. So I'm going to turn it round there to the back. So I might just get myself a coffee and then wade through the potting on conveyor belt that is to the right of me, and I'll stop and show you anything that I think is important for you to know. So I'm going to need a ton of pots and a ton of labels, so I think I might just start finding pots. I mean, I could pop them on into those. Thinking about it. So I've just had another thought about the chilies, and that is last year, no, not last year, a couple of years ago, I planted them in these terracotta pots, of which I have 6. And I'm just wondering whether it just makes sense to put them straight in there. I don't need, was it 3, 6, 8? Is it 8? I don't need 8 chili plants. I was thinking I was going for more like 4, but I don't currently have enough compost to fill 4 of those terracotta pots. So I think I'm going to hold off on the chilies for today so I can get everything else done, and then I will get some compost to fill these up. Okay, the Amy sweet pepper, decided these 2 are going to go in the ground in the greenhouse. They'll go in with the tomatoes, and then I'll probably have 3 pots for these peppers, and then these are just going to be my backup peppers. So I'm going to put these 3 on, and then I'm just going to leave these guys alone for a minute. Not going to give that one any water because he's still very wet, but these 2 are going to have a drink out here. Okay, the basil I'm just going to thin, so I'm just going to leave 1 seedling per cell. So I'm going to snip the least happy ones. It's not always the tallest. I'm looking kind of for a thickish one. You can definitely pull them out, but I do like to snip if I can. Just saves you from damaging the roots. And they definitely need a water, but they don't like to be too wet, basil, if I remember rightly. My mum taught me that. Here we go. 1 per cell. Oh, I could have filled that cell, but I didn't. It's not that dry in there, but I am just going to give them a little water. I'm not quite sure why that one's so moist and the others aren't. Okay, it's the turn of the cosmos now. One cosmos down, 9 to go. Okay, it's the celeriac next. I really don't want to damage these. They are a root vegetable, and I think they are from the same family as carrots, and carrots obviously you sow directly. I did just do a quick Google, and it does say they do cope with being potted on, but basically don't prise them out of the pot that they're in. Try and take out the whole cell and try not to disturb the roots. So I think what I'm going to do is procrastinate first of all. Yeah, so I don't lose them. I'd much rather have 9 than none. I think I'm going to thin them out and then just top the soil up like I've done around this one. Let me do that instead. I'm just being greedy. I'm just gonna fill the cells up a little bit. Okay, they seem a bit happier anyway because they're not so leggy now. A bit more supported perhaps. Okay, done. Okay, I've just decided to put the calendula in here. They seem to be okay. It's certainly better than competing for nutrients in there, so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, done. Oh, I'm really chuffed about that. I was worried that I wasn't going to get them in, but they are done. Okay, so another potential fail. I'm not actually sure whether it is definitely a fail, but I am a little concerned. Are the raspberries. Now, they've only just been planted here this year, or at the end of last year I bought them. I put them in. I feel like I did follow the instructions. I may not have done, but I just don't know that they are that happy. This one is split. I can't see any green growth at all on any of them, and they're all the same. They don't even look like, doesn't even look like they're swelling particularly. Anyway, I just went to the garden centre now and asked the lady in there if she could help me. She was not very helpful at all. However, they did have raspberries. And this is the type that I have planted, the Glen Prosson. I think they're very good for freezing, and they're a summer fruiting raspberry, and they're pretty vigorous, which is what I was after. However, as you can probably see, they either have some green growth or they've got green buds on them. Like here, for example, there's a sign of growth, like it's swelling. So they just seem much happier. But anyway, the lady did say it could just be a bit early, but she admitted that she didn't really know what she was talking about. They are summer fruiting, so I would think I'd see something, even if it was just swelling. However, I put them here because this is like one of the sunniest spots in the back garden. But very annoyingly, my neighbour has refused cut this down, or at least take the top off. But I thought that this whole bed here in the lawn was in the sun for much longer and would be perfect for the raspberries. But I have noticed that they are definitely not getting 8 hours of sunshine, and I'm pretty sure they need 8 hours of sunshine. Okay, so another potential fail. No, is it a fail? I was going to say might be these carrots. I've been checking most days. I can't actually remember when I sowed them, which might be a bit of an issue. But I haven't been able to see any green growth apart from this one. Oh, hello. There's one. And there's another. Oh, yay. That's good. Okay. I'm just panicking too early, aren't I? Back to bed you go, carrots. Maybe you're not a fail just yet. So I just wanted to show you the strawberries that I've got. I've got 12 of this variety, which is called Honey Oi, which is a New York name. I thought it was Honey Eye, but anyway, Honey Oi. They are a summer bearing strawberry. They're not an ever bearing strawberry, so that means they are going to fruit over a concentrated period of time around June, July. I think more like June. These are slightly earlier. And then I've got this Cambridge variety. They are the same. They are summer bearing, and I'm going to get a concentrated harvest from them, but they are slightly later. The reason I've gone for summer bearing and a concentrated harvest is because I eat a lot of berries, frozen berries actually, with my breakfast. So I want to be able to freeze these, and this just seemed to be the best way to do it. I might see if I can get my hands on some ever bearing as well, so that we've got some just continuously in the garden, because the kids obviously love them. And it is different eating fresh strawberries versus frozen, but the whole point of me trying to grow dinner is to try and grow as much food as I can, and food that we use regularly. And this is something that I use regularly, and they're very expensive, aren't they? I also concerned, as I showed you earlier, that my raspberries are not going to produce this year. In fact, they may well even be dead. So it's all down to the strawberries. As I've got the least amount of Cambridge, the Cambridge variety, I'm going to write labels for those ones, and anything without a label is obviously the Honey Eye. Ah! Oh no, that's not good. I just ripped the poor thing out of his, oh my heavens above. He's going to need some love and tender care in there. Oh, there's already one. It's so exciting. Trying to make sure that the roots are actually in there. I mean, I've been so excited about having strawberries in this thing in the first place. It's kind of what it's for. But yes, they're finally going in. It might actually be easier just to take the whole block out, which it kind of is because they're attached. I don't know if you can see that. Oh. Seems good. This thing, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure strawberries is one of the main plants that this thing was designed for, and I can see why. They obviously love the heat. I just hope I can keep the nasty slugs away. Definitely doesn't dry out anywhere near as quickly as I thought it might, this Greenstalk. I know we're not in the height of summer yet, so maybe it will, but it's as if you were meant to be. Look at that, it just looks so pretty. The light's not great in here now, but it finally looks like it's meant to look.